What's up, guys? Today we're doing something a little bit different and taking a look at my favorite paddles under $100. One of the most common questions I hear, as well as see on places like the Pickleball subreddit, is what's the best paddle under $100? And after testing quite a few paddles, there are definitely a few under that $100 mark that have stood out. Stay tuned to the end of the video where you can find out how to win a brand new copy of one of the paddles featured in this video. But before we get into it, if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, it really does help a lot. Alright, so my first two paddles in this list are a little bit more of an honorable mention, but they're still really good paddles and worth mentioning in this video. And the first one I don't actually own and I haven't reviewed, but it's the Friday 2 for $99 paddle deal. The Friday paddles have become super popular because they offer an insanely good value with two thermoformed carbon fiber paddles for $99. I was pretty skeptical on these paddles, but when I finally had a chance to hit one, I was pleasantly surprised. They offer a decent amount of pop and power while still being fairly controllable, and they get pretty solid spin despite the fact that they use spray grit rather than the pill ply texture on raw carbon fiber. They also have a lot of nice colors and designs, which is always a plus. I don't have a discount code for Friday Pickleball, but I will put a link down in the description. Alright, so next up is probably the best value pickleball paddle I've ever tested. And that is the Kiwi Labs Citrus. This is a rather new paddle from Kiwi Labs, and it is super interesting. Kiwi Labs designed this to be the best first pickleball paddle. And there's a few things that they did to make this paddle a great beginner paddle. This is a super forgiving hybrid shape with a very large hitting surface, but that does come at the expense of a bit of handle length. They're using a T300 raw carbon fiber with a 14mm core, which combines to give this paddle a very soft and controllable feel that still has a little bit more pop and power than you might expect. And the texture that Kiwi Labs is putting on this paddle generates some pretty good spin as well. This is all wrapped in a package that is very similar to a paddle like the 6-0 Quartz, with one minor caveat, which is this paddle is not USAP approved. The reason Kiwi Labs chose not to get this paddle approved is it drastically lowers the cost from not having to pay for that approval process. That does unfortunately mean that this paddle can't be used in sanctioned tournament play, but I don't think this is really a paddle designed for tournament players. And of course, the big kicker with this paddle, as I mentioned, is the price. After discount code Scooter, this paddle is only $40, which for a raw carbon fiber paddle is pretty much unheard of. And really for somebody just getting into pickleball, I can't think of a better paddle than this paddle. The only cons is that shorter handle, and the other side of the paddle's graphics might not be for everyone. I would also like to say that Kiwi Labs as a brand has quite a few paddles under $100, so if this isn't a paddle for you, they probably have one. Alright, so on to my top 3 under $100. First up is the Neonic Force. This is a great elongated paddle with plenty of power and pop, and when it came out, it was definitely considered a power paddle, but by modern standards, it's a bit more of an all-court paddle, but it's still very competitive. A big standout feature of this paddle has always been its lower swing weight than a lot of other elongated paddles in this shape. And I've also always enjoyed its softer feel than a lot of its closer competitors. Now, this is not the most beginner-friendly paddle, but if you have a decent control game and want a solid elongated paddle without spending more than $100, then this is a solid option at $90 after discount code Scooter. Next up is the Vatic Prism. This is easily one of the most recommended budget paddles on the market, and it is still one of the best control paddles available. And I actually used this as my main paddle for over 6 months when I was first getting into pickleball. If you're not already familiar with the Vatic Prism, it is an incredibly soft and plush paddle with excellent control, but that does come at the cost of some put-away power. However, for a lot of people, and especially newer players, that is a good thing. This paddle makes it super easy to dial in your control game and helps keep pop-ups and unforced errors to a minimum. And there's a reason that so many people recommend this paddle. It's available in multiple shapes and core thicknesses, and it comes in at $90 after discount code Scooter, making it one of the best value paddles on the market. And last up, my number one paddle for under $100 is the 11624 Monarch Jelly Bean. This is probably the most exciting paddle on this list, as it combines pretty much everything I love about the previous two paddles in a more forgiving wide body shape. It feels and plays very similar to the Vatic Prism Flash, but 11624's CFC face does give it a bit of extra pop and power. And this wide body Monarch shape is super forgiving and has a massive sweet spot, making this a very forgiving control paddle while still having some offensive ability. This is the Royal Burst colorway, which comes in at $100 after discount code Scooter, but some of the other colors are a little bit cheaper. I have a full in-depth review on the Monarch Jelly Bean as well as a few of the other paddles in this video, but you guys are always welcome to leave any questions you have in the comments. Alright, so on to the giveaway. I will be choosing one winner to buy a brand new copy of any paddle featured in this video. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about which of these paddles interest you the most and why. I will run this giveaway through December 15th, and I will use random comment picker to select a winner, and I'll respond to that comment with further instructions. Good luck on the giveaway, and stay tuned, I have more reviews coming soon.